So I think the topic of the podcast today is about something you hopefully are very familiar with, which
Mhm.
is registering foreign companies in Indonesia, taxation. Um, Perhaps we're also looking into HR and hiring in Indonesia. Intellectual property. So a lot of like the really heavy topic that I believe, a lot of the audience who's listening to this podcast are very. Hi everyone, welcome to Block 71 Podcast Indonesia edition, where we aim to deliver practical insights into the Indonesian markets. In this podcast series, we'll feature seasoned founders, VC industry experts for your benefits, offering real world guidance on various company building aspects. Indonesia is no doubt one of the biggest nations in Southeast Asia, with over 270 million people making up to over 40% of ASEAN population. And it is no doubt also that it is one of the most interesting countries, and a lot of people are looking into tapping into the country with a lot of challenges that they have to face. My name is Aditya, and I'll be your host today. And I'm a co-founder of Ravenry, a market research company that's helping a lot of different companies around the globe to enter Southeast Asia markets, and particularly in this case, Indonesia as well. We have with us here today our guests, Anton Irawan, co-founder of Goritax.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Anton, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I think to kick this off, I would like to get you to introduce yourself,
Okay.
a bit of background about yourself, and also the company that you co-founded, I think about 7 years ago, called Goritex. So, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the opportunity. So my name is Anton Irawan. I'm the co-founder of Goritex and also act as CEO right now. Shortly, Goritex is end-to-end back office solutions for the companies, especially small to medium enterprise. So our product is from incorporation until online outsourcing services. So we want to help small to medium enterprise and medium companies, startup as well, to grow their company and to make their budget efficient and effective also.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And back then I was tax officer. I was ex-tax officer in Director General of Taxation for 11 years. So yeah, I changed my career from
From a government official
from government
to a
official
startup
to
founder.
startup founder.
Okay, that's a big jump of
Yep.
career. And you're probably one in a million, because I've never heard of anyone jumping from a government official
Yep.
into the crazy world of startup.
Yes.
Although I think it is still somewhat relevant to what you did, right? Which is taxation and helping companies to do a lot of admin type work
Yeah.
and all that. Okay.
I think
Perfect.
it's my wild dream to being an entrepreneur and startup founder.
Mm-hmm. So 11 years in the in the taxation
Yep.
Space, and then you've started Goritax back in I think in our conversation in 2018 or
Yeah.
2018.
2021, I being a full time.
Oh, so 2018 until
Yeah.
2021, you sort of were looking into
I'm looking
testing
the
the
market
ground.
research
Yeah.
and do piloting project and etc.
Okay. Cool. So I think the topic of the podcast today is about something you hopefully are very familiar with, which
Mhm.
is registering foreign companies in Indonesia, taxation. Perhaps we're also looking into HR and hiring in Indonesia. Intellectual property. So a lot of like the really heavy topic that I believe, a lot of the audience who's listening to this podcast are very curious about. Because I think I did mention earlier that Indonesia is a very hot market, and a lot of people is looking into entering the country, but sometimes they don't know how to navigate around how to start, registering the company, how to deal with the admin work, the bureaucracy. So it's a very, very heavy topic, but I think hopefully, we can make it a lot more casual.
Yeah.
I think, because I think we talked about the market entry. If I can ask you, what are some of the key market entry considerations for startups or companies looking into entering the country, in this case, Indonesia?
Okay, yeah, that's really common question.
Mm.
So yeah, there's many companies overseas, for foreign company from U.S., from Singapore and Hungary also. They ask how to enter market in Indonesia.
Mm.
So first thing first is I ask, are they do their homework? Already do their homework because they have to do the market research first.
Mm.
Because Indonesia is a unique market, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. And then first thing first, you have to look for the goal. So what's your goal? To grab the market or just to learn about the unique culture in Indonesia? And then you have to prepare your financial projection if you want to being a profit company in 1 year. And then you have to look for the regulatory also, because in Indonesia, as you know, in
It's not
Indonesia
the
it's really
easiest.
complicated. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why Indonesia is a unique market as
Yeah.
well.
I agree. You did mention, prepare for a 1 year financial projection. Is
Yeah.
there a reason why 1 year in your experience, based on, you probably have worked with a lot of foreign clients that is looking into entering the market. So is that a reason why it's a 1 year projection, you think?
Okay. Okay, the other thing that I usually ask is about their competitor, their field of business. Because in Indonesia, the culture is the customer in Indonesia is not very loyal. They are really sensitive to discount promotion and can change hard instantly when a new company or new startup giving the discount or cashback. So because of that, you have to make sure that your business competitors in Indonesia is not burns money. Because if you burn money, if your competitor burn money, and then you have to prepare some budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much are you actually willing to burn to actually enter the market?
In 1 year, because in if you're not a big company and then you just a small to or medium startup, and then you want to enter a new market, you have to prepare everything, including budget.
Yeah. And 1 year is like your benchmark, because after 1 year, then
After
you probably
1 year,
have
it's
seen-
not relevant again if you you already know whether you are win, lose, or you can stand in the market.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really good tip. Thank you. So I think my next question is still relevant to the market entry considerations. I think you did mention that intention is very important. What is your intention as a company when you're trying to look into entering the country? I suppose one of the few questions that people are asking for is more on, okay, I've decided to enter, I'm interested, there's a market for me, I've prepared my financial projection. What are some of the available or different legal structures that I have to like properly set up in Indonesia? Properly or somewhat properly set up in Indonesia?
Yep. Okay. The usual one will be PTPMA. It's a foreign investment company, but we will talk another option. And the other option is the representative office. And also we have some unique solution. I think it's really good for startup. We call it EOR, Employee of Record.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really usable for small to medium startup who want to expand the market to Indonesia. So if you incorporate the representative office, and then you can only learning about the market, you cannot sell anything using that company. And if you build or incorporate the PTPMA, then you have to prepare a big budget. I think even for the Singaporean company who come to us, 10 billions rupees for the capital is not a small amount for them.
So 10 billion rupiah
Rupees.
is how much? Like, what's that in USD? If I can,
613
about 600,000 USD. Yeah.
USD.
Yeah. Okay. So 10 billion is about 600,000 USD as a minimum capital investment.
As a minimum capital.
Yep.
So it's a big money for them because they don't know about the market yet. They don't know about whether the company is a success or not in Indonesia. So there's another option that I said in the first answer is EOR, employee of record. So instead of incorporate the company in Indonesia, you can using a agency in Indonesia like Goritax also. So Goritax will talk to you, consult with the company, which position that you want to hire first, and then we will look for the position. If you already have the candidate, and then we can hire the candidate using Goritex.
Oh,
So
okay.
you,
So
using the local company.
So actually, you don't have to set up any entity. You just have to hire a person that will be hired under
Under the local company, and
an external entity that is already an Indonesian entity.
In Indonesia, it's pretty common in every country.
Okay.
So it's one of the solution. And then after you hiring that people, you just have to pay for the salary and a small management fee for that. It's really save your budget, and then you can instantly have a business, running a business in Indonesia. Without have to incorporate the company.
Yeah, and that can be like a salesperson, or it can be like an operational person if you're just looking into seeing what's up with Indonesia.
Yes.
If that's correct. Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
You did mention about a small management fee. How much is a small management fee that
I believe it's about 5% until 8%.
That's a monthly
from the monthly salary.
That is paid to this agency essentially.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. It's exclude the basic salary, allowance, and also the BPJS, Social Security.
Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting. And I suppose then if you've got PTPMA representative office, and also something that's a bit probably off the record, which is the employee of record. What factors should startups or companies consider when they're actually choosing a particular structure? You mentioned that PTPMA actually has a considerably large amount of upfront investment. But yeah, like what are some of the factors that are to be considered?
Okay, thank you. So first thing you have to consider, it's usually usually you have to get the right consultant in Indonesia, and then the right consultant will ask you about the goal of the company. First categories will be the company have investment from Singapore, and the Singaporean company want to expand the market to Indonesia, and this company in the other country is already established and have a strong financial budget. And then I strongly suggest to make a PTPMA in Indonesia, because for the sensitive business field like finance, you have to get the business license, right, from OJK.
OJK is the regulatory body for like money related issues.
Yes. Yes, that's true. Yes. So to be able to get that business license, you have to properly incorporate your company, and then we strongly suggest PTPMA. Uh, and for the capital, you can pay like 25% of the 10 billions rupiahs to incorporate your company in Indonesia. And then if your company, uh, okay, I have one client from Hungary, and then that company have project in Indonesia, but as a uh, to supervisor a project, which is a government project, and then we suggest them to make a representative office. Because that company just have to monitor the local vendor in Indonesia. But if you are not fall to the two categories in the last in
Between
PTPMA, yeah,
PMA or representative office.
or representative office, and then I suggest for the EOR first.
Yep. So I guess my question is to do with the representative office. What's the minimum upfront capital that is required? So you mentioned that for PMA it's 25% of the 10 billion rupiah, or around 600,000 USD. What about the representative office? Is there any minimum upfront capital required as compared to? Because I'd imagine that with the employee of record, there's no minimum capital required, because you're simply hiring an employee under an agency.
Okay, so there's no minimum capital for the representative office, because obviously they are not doing business in Indonesia, just to monitor.
So all you have to do is perhaps just set up a virtual office.
Virtual office
where you can get your letters and everything else.
Yeah.
Can you then set up your a bank account if you have a rep office?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
They also can have their own employee. Yeah, but you have to stay in the regulation. Like you cannot sell anything in Indonesia using representative office. If you want to sell anything, and then you have to make a PTPMA.
Yeah, which then costs a bit of money. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess again it comes back to the factors that a startup should consider when choosing a structure is really number one is your intention. Is it just to operate, or is it to really go in to the markets? And secondly, also I think one of the factors that you mentioned is also budget, right?
Budget.
How much you're actually willing to put in,
in
that,
the market.
and then that will sort of determine which structure you is more beneficial for the startups that is out there.
Yep.
Cool. That is super informative. Thank you so much. So I guess I think moving on to the next question, because I think we've talked a lot about the structures. I think some of the questions that are normally being asked as well is to do with intellectual property. So things like patents, trademarks, copyrights. Particularly, I think because I think we're talking about startups which mostly has unique value propositions or unique products. Once they enter the country, how are they protected from on this angle?
Startup usually have intellectual property. I believe it's a great asset for the startup. So you have to protect that asset well. So in Indonesia, we have a law of the Republic of Indonesia number 20 of year of 2016 concerning trademarks and geographical indication. So in Indonesia, the trademarks law is first to file. So it's not first to use. You have to be aware of that. So if you have brand in the other country, and you are already using that brand, register that brand in the other country. But in Indonesia, you have to, as fast as possible, register that trademark or that patent in Indonesia. And also you have to be aware that in Indonesia, the trademark is have their own categories. It means that if you already register for the example consultation, and then if you have another product using the same trademark, and then you have to register in the other class. So for one brand, you can be able to register maybe like 2 or 3 class to fully cover your trademark. So for the example, if your product is have a mascot, and then your product is a T-shirt, you print your mascot in the T-shirt, so you have to register the mascot and the trademark and using the T-shirt class categories.
Yeah.
So if you just register in one class, and then if someone in Indonesia using the same mascot,
But they
using
print
the
it on
same
a cap.
name, printing in the cap. No, not printing in the cap because it's the fabric also.
okay,
But
okay.
you can print a glass
Okay, like in a mug, for example.
in the
then
mug
it's,
also.
Then
Yes.
it's actually not.
Yes.
It's actually okay in Indonesia.
It's okay in Indonesia. The company cannot sue you because you print in the other material instead of the fabric. So you have to make sure all of the categories is already covered.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
difficult then. If you,
Yeah,
you know,
because of that
if
you need
anyone wants to like,
consultant in
yeah, because you then need
Indonesia.
to know what your purpose of your mascot is, for example. Like if
Yeah.
you've never really thought of like putting it on a mug,
Huh.
but then your mascot becomes something that is like super unique to your company.
Yeah.
And if someone just printed it on like another type of surface, then it's going to be a disadvantage. For
and
the
you
company.
also have to plan what's your next product in the next year, in the next 5 year.
Yeah.
You have to prepare to because it's first to file law, so you have to make sure that your product is protected.
Yeah.
Your next product also
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So that's a super important one to note, I guess.
Okay.
I think particularly also for like consumer products. I think mostly.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm not sure if this sort of IP or trademark law is specific to Indonesia. I'm not an IP expert myself.
Okay.
But I think what are some of the it seems quite unique to me, but again, like I don't know. But can you think of like other unique regulations that is potentially specific to just Indonesia as a country? It can be, data privacy or security. It can be like labor law. So I think we will probably start to touch on the labor or human capital regulations. But can you think of anything that is unique to Indonesia based on your experience?
Yeah, that's why some foreign company who want to expand the market to Indonesia find it hard to comply with the regulation in Indonesia because there's a lot of law from many government minister. So one of them is for data privacy also. There's a law for the data privacy, and then you have to look for the labor law in Indonesia because labor law in Indonesia is quite unique.
It's very, very complex as well.
it's
I've experienced that.
Pretty complex. And then in Indonesia, it seems like the regulation is in the side of the employee. So because of that, you have to be aware. And maybe in Singapore, for the example, you just can fire the employee in the same day. I mean, if the employee comes to the office in the morning and then suddenly in the afternoon you say, I do not need you again. Thank you for your contribution, and you can leave this company. Yeah, you can do that in Singapore, but in Indonesia, it will be mad things to do, because in Indonesia, you have to say that in 1 month you have to prepare, you have to give that employee information that that employee will be fired
Yeah.
in the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but it makes some security holes in Indonesia. For my from my experience myself, when I want to fire or cut off the employee, I have to make sure that if even the company, even the employee leave the company in the next month, but you have to cut all the information of the credential from that person. I usually cut the all the credential in 1 weeks.
Do you mean like the cut email access, access to like
access
documents and like
document and
essential
also
folders and all that?
yes. So because it took a long time, 1 month is a long time, so it will be a security is to mitigate the risk that your data is collected by the other employee, but to your by your employee and giving to their competitor. Yeah. I think that's one of the tips you have to.
Is that also like applicable when the employee, for example, is is dismissed because of like a very serious misconduct or a very serious breach of trust?
Okay, so yeah, in Indonesia, like I said before, it's in the side of the employee. So you have to giving a warning 1, warning 2, and warning 3. So if you don't give that warning, and then the employee can sue you because you're not comply to the law of labor in Indonesia.
Okay, and this is also applicable for like blue collar workers, white collar workers,
Yes.
any sorts of like employee in a company or a registered company in Indonesia.
Yes.
So that's like to do with human or labor law or human capital related law. Basically, in your opinion, I think the really unique thing about Indonesia is just with not just, but it's one of them is actually the labor law that the audience, I think you might have to be aware of in that it is not wrong or right, but I think it's just so happened that the Indonesian labor law sides with the employee more so than the business, and I think you can't simply dismiss an employee within the same day because that can be a risk to your company if the employee decides to take this to the court,
yeah, or to the next level.
And I think you also did mention about the first warning and the second warning.
Yeah.
How many warnings is it normally?
Normally 3.
So 3 warnings before you can dismiss a person.
Yeah. In 1 year.
And in 1 year.
In 1 year.
And even then, you need that 1 month notice period.
Yes, that's correct.
So after 3 warnings, 1 month notice period. So
Yeah.
it can take up to like 4 or 5 months before once you've decided I don't think this person will be suitable,
But
it will take up to like 4 months before you can actually dismiss that person from your company.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I said you have to look closely to the labor law because it's pretty interesting that if your company have difficult of a financial situation, and then you can just dismiss at the same day. Yeah.
But that is if you have a financial situation, which I hope.
Yeah, there's
you
a
know,
lot of startup doing that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In the Indonesia, like they are the employee gather in the town hall,
Yeah, and
and
suddenly
then
like
they said you are all cut off,
yeah,
and then you
yeah.
have to prepare all your belongings, and then suddenly the company cut all of the communication and other credential things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the financial difficulty of
Hardship.
financial situation.
Yeah,
And I think the startup it's being a common, right? There's a lot of startup, even Google doing that.
I was gonna ask because we've seen a lot in the news where you
Yeah.
know Indonesian large corporations just suddenly, well, not corporations but large companies suddenly just dismissive a lot of people within the same day. So I think that's probably what they were using.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting because you will find the gray area inside all of the laws made by the human, right?
Yeah. Ooh, a very it can be a very sensitive topic here, but I think for the purpose of this podcast, I think again, I think labor law is probably something that is unique about Indonesia that anyone who's looking to entering the country should be aware of and take a note of and have a strategy on how to navigate around this. I think maybe then still now we've sort of touched base on labor law. So I think humans are one of the things that the startups or companies should consider. But I think I kind of want to move away from the employee, and now I want to sort of focus more on the founders, for example. If they wanted to enter the country, is there any sort of like visa or work permit requirements that any founders or any country head that is looking into entering the country need to have?
If you want to come to Indonesia and then you need visa, it's a work visa.
So Kitas is a work visa for
work visa.
foreign.
Not Kitas is different with the work visa. Work visa is only applicable for 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. But if you want to be stay longer in Indonesia, and then you have to register for Kitas.
So Kitas is more like a long-term business visa?
Yes.
Where you can actually like work and gain employment in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Hence paying tax.
Yep. You can stay like 1 year and maximum 6 years if you extend that Kitas.
So it's like an annual extension up to 6 years.
Up to 6 years.
That's Kitas.
Yep.
Okay.
And then because of that, I said to the founder, to the PTPMA founder, why they do not have another founder, or not another founder. They have one management, which is Indonesian people.
Like an Indonesia country head.
Yeah, like an American country head. Yeah,
that is actually
and then
Indonesian.
but you put it in the deed of incorporation as the management, as the director. And then you don't have to go to Indonesia. That person can go to the tax office, go to the other things in to solve the administration process in Indonesia behalf of the company.
So basically, I think to summarize, correct me if I'm wrong. So to summarize your points, if a foreigner decides to look into Indonesia as a market, they can probably start off with like applying for a work visa, which is a 30-day visa.
Yep.
And if they've decided within that 30 days, I'm living this country, I want to like make a business here, they can apply for kitas, which is the long-term stay, and it can be extended annually up to 6 years, and that is difficult, right?
Okay.
That can be difficult, and a work around it is actually to simply just hire an Indonesian to work as a director of the PT of your company, and that will solve
all the administration
all the
problem.
admin problems to do with
in
applying for
Indonesia.
work visa and kitas.
Yeah, and I forgot to give some information about the tax administration that kitas is mandatory for make electronic certificate and EFIN, electronic identification number. So it's mandatory. So you have to prepare for kitas if you don't have a local
director.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. How long? Do you know how long does it take normally to like apply for a work visa or a kitas? I know this may not be your area of expertise as well, but if you happen to like know how long it will take to apply for a work visa or a kitas.
Okay. We also have that kind of services. So it took like 2 months
for a work
for kitas.
For kitas, okay.
Yeah, for work visa, I believe is less than 1 month.
So if anyone is keen to like explore the markets, work visa is available for you. It takes about up to 1 month to apply, and it's a 30-day work visa. For kitas, it takes up to 2 months to apply or to get kitas, and it's a long-term stay of 12 months that can be renewed up to 6 years.
Yes, correct.
Of course, with the workaround that we've just mentioned. So hopefully that is a few things that the audience can actually consider in terms of the type of visa and work permit that is required to set up a business in Indonesia. Yeah. I guess with all of those rather complicated regulations that are in place, of course the government is they have a really good intention in setting up the regulations to make sure that they are across of what's happening, and it's beneficial for the country as well, because I think making sure that people are getting kitas so that taxes are being paid and revenue is coming into Indonesia. I suppose my next question is to do with the government itself that is setting up all the regulations, right? What are some of the relevant government agencies that would be, relevant for the startups or the companies out there to know, and what role do they play in regulating the business activities?
Yes. As far as I know, there are some ministry in Indonesia that's keen to keep in touch with the startup. One of them is the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. As you know, there's pretty famous, the 100 digital startup program.
I think 1,000 digital.
1,000, yeah, 1,000.
Actually, we interviewed the guy behind that program. Already. So
okay.
That's aligned, because I think he did also mention that I want people to like come to us. I don't want to like create all these blockers for startups or companies out there to like enter the markets. So I think Cominfo, I think it's aligned with what you said.
It still continue. They still continue the program.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
that's good.
Yes. He even mentioned that there are like he created 18 hubs around like in the country. In like different places, so that any startups that's looking into entering the country, and particularly a particular region in the country, can be connected under that hub. So I think that's a really great initiative. So perfect. Cominfo, which is the Ministry of Communications and Informatics, is one.
Mhm. And then uh, because of the programs, and then there's a lot of there's other minister there's a other minister government make the same program like in 2024 the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy also make a program they call it Bekup. Yeah, but it's specific to the tourism and creative startup.
Yep.
So
So
if you want to get the funding from the government, it's possible in Indonesia, but you have to know the field of your business, and then what is the government division that related to your business. So if you are in the field of finance, and then you can come to the government company state owned like bank. There's a bank, the Mandiri, and also BRI. They have the program also, but specific for the finance.
yeah. Do you know if these programs are also available for foreigners, or are they mostly for locals?
I believe it's for startups.
So any startups,
So
doesn't
any
matter whether
startup
that's local
that incorporate in Indonesia.
or. Oh, okay. So you have to have that. Does it have to be a representative
Have
office or
to
PTPMA?
PTPMA.
PTPMA.
In Indonesia,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And again, to set up PTPMA, it can be quite costly as well.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are in the tourism or creative economy, then you can tap into
The Ministry of
the
Tourism
Ministry of
and
Tourism
Creative
and Creative
Economy.
Economy. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. So it's depend on your business field.
I guess maybe like one question that people ask a lot. We know that when we're trying to enter a new market, then it's important to like build relationships with the government. Do you have any tips in terms of how to actually get access to this government? Because you used to work for a government
Okay.
body as well, which is the taxation. How do you actually get access to this government?
Okay, I believe it's pretty hard for the foreign people to get access to the governments, and then what you can do is looking for the reliable third partner, and then or the experienced consultant is important, because the experienced consultant can connect you with the right person in the government, and know a lot of people, have a good connection. So I suggest you to rely rely on the
On the
experienced
third
consultant or
party.
the third party.
What sort
partner.
of third party is it? If you may elaborate a bit.
Okay. The third party is one of them is like a Goritex.
Okay, promoting your own company. So I mean, are we looking at like like a market entry consultant?
Yes. Okay. The another example is let's say you are a trading startup company, and then you have to find a logistic partner in Indonesia as a vendor, and then because the logistic partner is already established a long time ago, and have many connection, and
Including government.
including the government, already survive the bureaucracy, so they have to know some key person in the government. So what I mean, the third partner is can be your source of network.
Yeah.
To being close to the PIC.
Basically, you like cutting the steps required to be
Yeah.
connected to people that you need to connect with.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Okay. So you're based on your experience and opinion, engaging with third party is the easiest way for startups or companies out there that is looking into building
Yes.
relationships with the governments and the local communities and all that.
Yes.
Yep.
Finding the third-party partner or vendor, and also collaborate with the local company in Indonesia. Have a good consultant. Is a combination of things that can make your company run smoother and make your adapt faster, and also make sure that your company stand in the market uh, for
Long period of time.
yeah period of time. Yeah.
Okay. I think so far we've really been talking about how complicated the bureaucracy is in Indonesia. And I think that is also one of the concerns that at least people that I've spoken with in the past, everyone knows that Indonesian bureaucracy is complicated, it's multi-layered. It's not just the national bureaucracy that they have to deal with, but also when they wanted to enter a particular region, then there's also the local governments. It's very, very complicated, highly regulated as well. And hence comes with that a very risky move when it comes to entering the country, right? I suppose my question next is to do with mitigating these risks, right? How can actually foreign companies mitigate the risk when it comes to handling the complicated bureaucracy in Indonesia?
Okay. Because my forte is in tax, I have expertise in tax. So yeah, maybe I will look from that perspective.
Yep.
For tax, there's many companies, PTPMA especially, ask about the GST. We call it VAT, value added tax. There's many company ask to me how to get the VAT. So they want to get the VAT status as soon as possible after they incorporate the company. But I think it's because the GST in Indonesia is different in with the other country. In VAT in Indonesia, if you already register for VAT, get the PKP status, and then there's not easy to release the status.
So what's a PKP status? I think it's probably important to elaborate
PKP
as well.
is call it taxable entrepreneur. Okay. So after you get the PKP status or taxable entrepreneur status, it's really hard to release that status because you have to follow some step. The first step is the tax inspection. The tax inspection will be take like 12 years just to release the status of the VAT. And then if your company if not success in Indonesia, and then you want to get out from the market, or you want to make another company, it's really difficult because the tax inspection. And you know that there are so many PMA in Indonesia do not fully comply with the tax regulation, so there will be some tax fines will be charged on them. And then so yeah, one of my tips is don't register taxable entrepreneur or PKP as soon as possible. You have to make sure that you are have revenue, annual revenue more than 4.8 billion rupees, and then you can look for that option to be the taxable entrepreneur. And then the other thing is you have to know about the tax incentive in Indonesia for the small to medium enterprise, which is the government regulation number 55 year of 2022. I believe it's one of the greatest benefit because in Singapore, I believe the tax for the corporation is 17%, but in Indonesia for the 3 years, you can get the 0.5%
Of your revenue, though, right?
your gross revenue as a annual tax.
Hmm.
It's really great benefit,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So
and that's for the first 3 years.
for the for the first 3 years, and if your annual revenue is under 4.8 billions.
Yeah.
So when
4.8 billion
rupees,
rupiah.
yeah. So if you want to do market research, and then you can make sure that you get the tax benefit, because it's really a low percentage of tax.
Yeah. So basically, like, you can utilize it this 3 years.
These 3 years, yeah,
To
make a
like
profit.
make sure that you are prepared once you are able to go through that 3 years. Then
Yeah.
you will have to be a PKP.
After the 3 years, and then and we have to meet the other requirement. So after the 3 years, you will get 22% of tax. Okay, I'm okay.
So after the 3 years, you need to pay 22% of the profits.
Of the
annual
profit,
profits,
yeah, annual profit,
which is then higher than what you talked about. Singapore was 17%.
Yeah.
And after 3 years, the tax is higher in Indonesia.
Yeah.
But for the first 3 years, it's 0.5% of the total gross revenue per annum, which is considerably super low. If your income is below 4.8 billion rupiah.
Or after 3 years, you can make a new company again.
Okay, that is another loophole, where, if you do not want to pay tax, like the full amount of tax, then you can create another company. But we do not recommend, because again, like, I think we want to encourage people to comply with the law and regulations here. I think maybe I do want to take a step back and go back to that PKP status that you mentioned earlier. So it sounded like the PKP status is optional, because once you have the PKP status, then you are going to be tied with that status for the next 12 years, meaning
for the lifetime of the company.
For the lifetime of the company, but
lifetime of
even
the
once
company.
your company is closed
down, and then you want to release the PKP status,
it takes about 12 years before you can actually
12 years, and the worst of that is you have to face the tax inspection from the tax office
for the next 12 years,
For the
even
next
though your
12
company is
years.
closed.
Yeah.
So for example, this is 2024, your company is closed today, you've decided you want to leave the country, but you have that PKP status, then even for the next 12 years until 2036, you will still need to
prepare the
for the documents
the
and lodge,
financial statement and others things.
even though you practically are no longer operating in Indonesia.
Yes, that's correct.
So essentially, the PKP status, there is a benefit when it comes to taxation, which is why it is somewhat required for you to have that PKP status.
It's optional if your company have the annual revenue under 4.8 billion rupees.
But once you hit that 4.8 billion,
it's mandatory.
It becomes a mandatory thing that you have to apply for a PKP. You have to get the PKP status.
Yeah, because your company is growth, your revenue is bigger than before.
Again, we've been talking a lot about taxation. I think your experience in tax will also be good for this discussion as well. I think you mentioned about the PKP status, the GST, or VAT applicable in Indonesia. I think maybe my next question is to do with the tax obligation then. So what are some of the ones that are required for foreign startups to comply with in Indonesia? And is there any like tax incentives or benefits for foreign companies. I think previously you mentioned about in general, companies typically they can apply for PKP status if their revenue is below 4.8 billion. But I think I do want to focus more on the tax obligations for foreign startups now.
Okay. The government in Indonesia give the tax incentive for the big companies who will give the big investment in Indonesia. One of them is the tax holiday. The tax holiday will be given if you have a plan to invest with the capital more than almost 31 million US dollar.
31 million US dollars.
US dollar is a really huge number. So I think it's really difficult for the small or medium company want to the first time in Indonesia. It's really big.
It's a really massive investment. But what is a tax holiday, if I may ask?
The tax holiday, you will free of tax for the companies up until 12 years, 5 and up until 12 years. You will given free of tax for the companies.
Wow. Okay. So potentially like a 5-year tax-free period.
Yep. Up until 12 years.
Okay, but you needed that 31 million capital
almost
investment.
31 millions.
Okay. What about for smaller companies then? What are some of the tax incentives or benefits?
Okay.
I guess like the 3 years 0.5% tax.
Yes,
that's somewhat an
I think that's just one of the tax incentive, but it's not specifically for the foreign company. It's different with
for everyone basically, right?
Other company. We can say in Singapore there's a lot of tax incentive for the startup, for the small to medium companies, for up until 1 or 3 years. But in Indonesia, the government regulation number 55 year of 2022, 0.5% is the best incentive that you can get.
But that's applicable for local and
foreign company.
So essentially for foreign companies, tax holidays one. How about tax obligations?
Okay.
I think we did touch base on this just a bit earlier today. But
there's a lot of company, PTPMA especially, miss of the tax compliance because they just know after the incorporated company and they can run the business freely and then they can try to make a profit. But there's a lot of tax obligation that new incorporated company must fulfill. The first one is, like I said before, is monthly tax return, and in Indonesia, the tax regulation is really complicated. We have many different categories of tax. For the example, like tax Article 21 for the employee, tax Article 23 if you buy some services to the other companies, tax Article 22, tax Article 15, tax Article 4.2 final tax. So there's a lot of tax, and then we also have VAT, right? It's pretty complicated for the foreigner to understand about the tax regulation in Indonesia, and it's really dynamic. So almost in 1 month you will get one new regulation which is change the old regulation. So it's pretty difficult.
But the I guess the interesting thing for me here is not just the amount of different taxes that is applicable, but also the monthly tax allotments. That is, I think, quite unique to Indonesia
Which
as
unique to
well.
Indonesia. Yeah. There's a experience that I got when a client from Australian asked about our rates, and our rates is quite higher because the tax consultant in Australian is cheaper, but the real condition is the tax regulation in Indonesia is really
Much more
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that, the fee is rather higher than the other country. Mhm.
Because of the amount of work that is actually
Yes.
required to comply.
Yes, and
the
it's a lot of
taxation.
paperwork
Is
actually.
is this monthly tax lodgement applicable for representative office as well?
Also,
Also,
yeah,
okay. So once you set
every
up a rep office as well,
every
you're also still
companies.
required to lodge tax, even
Yep.
though you're technically not getting any income.
Uh,
It's more like
but if you
expenses.
pay to the other company for the services, you have to withhold their tax and
Yeah.
reporting.
Yeah. So
But
the only company structure or legal structure that can avoid this complication is the employee of record.
employee of record, yes,
Yeah, because you simply just
need to
hiring an
focus
employee
on your
under a different
sales.
agency, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I suppose it sounds like there are a lot of things from a regulation and taxation perspectives that companies need to really think about
Mhm.
when they decide to enter the country, right? I suppose my next question is to do with the operational challenges.
Mhm.
What are some of the operational challenges that are faced by your foreign clients, for example, when they are already in the country?
Okay. So if you already incorporated the company, congrats, you have a new company in Indonesia. But after then, you have to prepare about the employee costs, because employee cost is fixed cost. Fixed cost is will make
It may
your
break you when you don't have like consistent income.
yes, that's
Yep.
right. As we know that maybe in the three first month after you incorporate the company, you have no sales at all, but you still have to pay for for the salary, and then you want to make sure that your business is growth, and then you hire more employee. So because of that, I think the first common problem is about the salary, because startup really rely on the runway, their budget. So I believe that uh, you have to find uh, the vendor or the consultant that give you back office team, especially because back office team is not contributed directly to the
To the
sales,
growth of the company.
and you can save costs by using that. You can use the freelance, but as far as I know, freelance in Indonesia is not
The most reliable.
not really not reliable, but some of them can.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
need to you need to find the really good one.
Find a good one,
which
yeah.
can also take time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So yes, to saving costs, you have to find the partner vendor for the back office services, so you can save your budget, and then you can starting to think about the marketing, sales, and to get profit
Hmm.
in Indonesia.
Okay, so I think you keep mentioning about having partners or advisors, or engage a third party this, third party that. So I think I can summarize that. I think for you it is important to actually engage with the third party to like cut many operational hurdles, get connected
Yeah.
to the right people at the right time, including governments, people in the ecosystem that a lot of you are probably looking to get access to as well.
Yes. One thing that I have to underline is, because right now, in the startup era, the founders, the investor, want to instant result, right? They don't want to make a conventional company. They don't want to get the networking by themselves. They don't want to make a long market research and do relationship with the customer. They want to cut off the pace, and then they want to customer do the customer acquisition as much as they can, and then they want to get the result fast and instant. Because of that, if you want to get fast and instant, you need someone's help. Even maybe it's the other companies that already have experience, or the other people or vendor that have experience. Because instant result, you cannot get the instant result not doing your homework.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's the shift of change of
The mindsets, I
mindset
suppose.
of
Yep.
the founder, especially.
Yep. Yep. Cool. I think that's actually my last question.
Thank you.
I think to from your side, if you have like one message that you would like, the foreign founders or companies to keep in mind, what would that be?
Okay. Startup is still a business, right? What field of business you running, and then it's still a business. Business need profits, so don't rely solely on the investment. Don't rely on others. You are the founders. You have to be tough. You have to be one person that always thinks about the profits, because profit makes your company stand longer in the battle of the market in Indonesia.
Yeah. Says the accountant, everyone. So
Profit first, right?
okay. So I think a summary from me from this rather challenging topic that we have today. Indonesia's governments and taxation can be really difficult and complicated. But I think one message that Anton here has said multiple times is leveraging partnerships with local Indonesians, companies or third parties can benefit you in many ways. Number one is it can create easier communications with people parties that you need to talk to, but also it can help you to overcome operational challenges as well. So with that, I would like to end this podcast. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much.
Anton, for your time and
Thank
for
you.
your knowledge that you've been able to share with us. Hopefully this can benefit the audience in one of the most asked question of all times, which is the regulations and taxations in Indonesia. Not the most fun topic, but I think it's something that needs to be taken care of as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.